Jacob, it's lovely to get a chance to talk to you, even though it's in very strange circumstances. On this lockdown, how have you found it?
Yeah, really strange. So obviously we were due to play Grimsby, well, 4 months ago, and we were all just kind of hanging around, ready to set off, and then next thing you know, it's cancelled, and now we're only just coming back in. So yeah, it's been really strange.
And we were saying before we came on camera that your job is full on from the minute you got here around Christmas time. It's just been fast paced, and then the lockdown. So that in itself must have been strange.
Yeah, so obviously I came in. I think I started Christmas Eve, so it was all the games around Christmas, and then straight away it's the January transfer window. So you're just kind of looking for players as well as doing all the stuff you do on the opposition and looking at ourselves as well. So yeah, that was chaos when I first started, but obviously started settling in, and then lockdown hit. So back to square one now.
And it was, I suppose, strange in a way in itself, in the fact that the manager's just come in and you're coming in as well. So it's both getting to know each other and getting to know the job as well.
Yeah, I mean, fair play to the manager, because obviously, as far as I know, analysis is quite new to the club, and I think he's come in and identified it as something that he feels could add to the club. And obviously, as soon as I found out that the club were looking for an analyst, I jumped at it. Obviously, being a big fan and coming to games and things like that for many years, yeah, it just kind of fit perfectly. But yeah, to be fair, he's been brilliant. Obviously, really thankful to him, Gav, David, for giving me the chance to come in.
I've got to ask you about that. You've mentioned the fact that you are a fan. What's it like for a lad like yourself to be having such a big and valued input into what happens with the team that you support?
Yeah, it's really good, to be fair. I mean, obviously, I've been coming to the games since, I think it was the year we went out to the conference. I've been coming to games and things like that, so I like to think I know the club inside out. But yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, even like little things like if you get asked to do things outside of what would be classed as normal working hours, it's the kind of thing that maybe if you weren't associated with the club, you'd be a bit like, oh, I don't really want to do that. But I'm just like, yeah, no worries, I'll do it, no problem. You just buzz in to be here, and you just want to do everything you can to help improve the club, and hopefully end up getting us back up into League One or something. But yeah, just doing something that against what we've been doing the last few years.
Yeah, I'm going to take you back to to Christmas then, Jacob. And you said you jumped at the chance. What was the process of you actually coming in to do the job?
Well, to be fair, it kind of come about a little bit strangely, really. I know Kitman Cole quite well because I'm mates with his grandson, and I just kind of got a call of him to say, oh, I think something might be coming up here. So, funny enough, that day I was off. I happened to be off on the Saturday, and I think we were playing Grimsby at home, so I was driving back anyways. So he got the manager to ring me, and I said, well, funny enough, I'm coming back to Carlisle anyway, so I can meet you if you want. And then it all happened really quickly after that, to be fair. I think obviously that was the Saturday, and I think I'd handed in my notice a few days later. And fair play to Borough, they were class about everything, to be fair. They understood my situation, that I wanted to move back home, work for the club that I've supported all my life. And yeah, they really didn't stand in my way. They just kind of said how soon they want you to start, and it was the case, well, next week. So luckily, like, yeah, no worries, just do what you need to do, because obviously working in under 18s football previously, around Christmas time's a little bit quieter, so it was just the case that they'd be slightly short staffed over the festive period, but they could kind of deal with it, I think. But everyone there was absolutely first class about it, to be fair.
And that's something that's key as well, isn't it? Because we've been over there to film games over at Middlesbrough, and you were there, obviously, in your capacity.
Yeah.
You're not new to this role. This is a job that you've done for quite a while now.
Yeah, I mean, I was at Middlesbrough, I think it was just short of 2 years. So yeah, I was over there. That was kind of my first job from university in analysis. I'd done little bits here and there. Prior to that, I was an intern at Newcastle United for a year. So that was kind of my first real taste of it. I'd done a little bit of, before that, work experience with Blackburn. Funny enough, it was Eric Kinder that sorted it out for me. So yeah, it's funny how people that you know seem to keep cropping back up. But yeah, so just kind of been working my way up, and then going from under 18s football, as soon as there's something in a first team environment where, well, 3 points every Saturday, Tuesday really matter, I jumped at the chance.
So your job, I know it's many facets, there's many things that you have to do, but let's take a Saturday game as a first example. In general terms, because I guess that every Saturday game is different as well, but in general terms, what will be your working week looking towards that Saturday fixture?
So well, it starts right from the start, from the opposition stuff. So generally I watch usually the last five 4, 5, 6 games, depending on the results and things like that, on the opposition. So, for example, obviously we were due to play Grimsby before lockdown, so that's probably the one that's most fresh in my mind. But I'd try and have a report on Gav and the gaffer's desk from the Saturday before, so that they can kind of read that when they go home, have a bit of an idea of what we're going to come up against in the next game. Then they can perhaps, if they need to, plan training around it. So I like to be quite prepared with that. And then from there we kind of watch clips based on the opposition in the coach's room. We'll just kind of go through different aspects of the play. It might be they're really good from set pieces as an example, and we can kind of pick out some of their best clips from that to highlight it to the lads. And then usually we'll do a pre-match as well, so we'll either do that the day before a game or on the morning of the game, especially if we're staying overnight away. We'll usually do it in the morning in the hotel before we get on the bus and go to the stadium. And then the match itself, I obviously film all the games and then I clip it, so different things like the manager's quite big on, like regains and retains, so I code them and clip them so that after the game we can kind of see when we're winning it back or we're keeping it, who's effective at winning it back and playing the pass and keeping it. I might code attacking entries, for example, so do we need to improve on, for an example, defending crosses at the back post, anything like that, and then we can, after the game, we can analyse it in the coach's room on the telly.